Hello, fellow Star Trek Online players. This is the Doctor. Guess who I ran into today? Well, actually, this guy, who apparently is currently living at the bottom of his chair. Q is having some problems, folks. And, yeah, so that's happening. But also, Q and his chair. Let's just say it's Q's chair. And a little head that keeps poking out. I think that's been broken for years now. Maybe 1 year they'll get that fixed. Anyway, as you can tell, guys, it's time for the winter event. This is the big winter event everybody looks forward to. It runs through December and part of January. And this is where you get a chance to basically win a free starship. Now, it's not technically free because you do have to do some things in order to get it. You got to grind. If you don't like grinding, it's not up your alley. You've got to go play some winter games, get some vouchers, and then you get the ship. So really, it's time spent in order to get the ship. But still, it's a Tier 6 starship, and it's a Breen starship, as it has always been every winter event. That seems to be a theme that they started a long time ago, and they are continuing that theme this year. So yes, it is a Breen starship. They are continuing that theme. Now, just like all winter events, you go through Q here and activate it. He'll take you to the Wonderland area, and then that's where you go do all the events. What I want to do in this video today is just an introduction video to this year's 2016's Winter Wonderland. I'm not actually going to play any of the events in this video. I'm just going to see what's available. We're going to see what's new with this winter event this year. Kind of look around, see what we can find, and see what we can do. And we're going to go look at the vendor and see what new items they have available for us this year. And then we'll look at the ship and just get all the information that we can about this winter event down, so that way you'll know what to do when you go do it yourself. And then I'll make a separate video where I go and actually play those things, because I've got to remind myself how to play those events. Never have really been good at some of those events. But anyway, the first thing to do is to open up your mission window and go to Q's Winter Wonderland, and it tells you that it's available from December 1st until January 12th. So you have until January 12th, 2017 to do this event. Celebrate the season with Q. Happy holidays. Q has created a winter wonderland for all of his favorite mortals. Visit him in Earth Space Dock, New Romulus Command, or Kronos to be transported there for racing, feasting, snowballs, and fun. Earn special winter gifts and holiday rewards. I do have to say, I miss the big dancing Gorn. Come on, guys, you know you do too. The dancing Gorn, that was perfect. I miss those days. Remember Q in Club 47 with the dancing Gorn? Because I do. Raise your hand if you do. Those were good times. All right. Well, there's really nothing we can do here at ESD. Everything is at the Winter Wonderland. Before we hop over there, though, let me just quickly go over some things that I wrote down as I was reading the news page of Star Trek Online, just to see what is new about this Winter Wonderland. There's some new sweaters. There's new EPO friends. You know you got to have an EPO friend, right? The cherry and lime flavored EPOs, apparently. Ultra rare EPOs that get caught up in some lights. I don't know what that is. Gummy swordfish. I don't know. New kit modules. Expected that. New training modules or manuals. Klingon Ice Fishing. This is brand new. Klingon Ice Fishing. And a fleet project is also available. But the big thing is the Breen Chelbolg Warship Tier 6. It's basically an upgraded Shelgret, or Shelgret, however you pronounce that. It's a Tier 6 Shelgret. Lieutenant Commander Science / Intel seat and Commander Tactical. 1,000 winter prize vouchers to get it. Let's go to the Winter Wonderland. And here we are. Very familiar place. Yeah, nothing really has changed visually or anything about this area. Looks similar to last year's, except they've probably just added some new things into the world around here as I explore. I'm sure I will recognize. We have the race coordinator. He's always here. We talk to him, and you do the fastest game on ice event. It gives you a chance to win. What do you win? You win prize vouchers. So this is where you get your first 40 prize vouchers from this guy. Maybe it's 40 every 20 hours or something like that. Signal the race official. So basically you got to run. You race against a competitor. Win and you will be rewarded. Fail and you can try again until you succeed. So you do not get the reward, I guess, if you don't win. That's not a good thing because I'm pretty bad at the running thing. Honestly, I really am. And I don't win very often. So me continually getting prizes from this guy is not looking good. Although that apparently is where you get some prize vouchers there. So if you're good at the race event, go for it. We've got Q himself here. Let's see, what can I do here? Talk to the race officials each day if you want to participate in the fastest race on ice. You'll race against an opponent of my choosing and no cheating. If you win, I'll give you some winter prize vouchers. If you want something with a little more challenge, there's the Fast and the Furious, which is another race where you can test your skills against other players. I'm giving winter EPO tags for participation. Collect 1,000 winter prize vouchers for a free Breen starship. You can earn 40 each day by winning the fastest game on ice. So you do have to win it, and it is 40 a day. So you guys do the math. 1,000 divided by 40, that tells you how many days you have to win the ship. And obviously, if you don't get it, I guess you missed your chance that day. I'm not sure. But I know I'm not going to get it. Winter EPO tags, that's always been a thing. The Klingons have an engaging New Year tradition. It's basically fishing, but in a very tough warrior sort of way. Why don't you go speak with the Klingon Fishing Master and give it a go? I hear the fish are biting, literally. So this is brand new this year, fishing. Klingon Fishing, that's a new thing. There's a chance special assignments will be available for your duty officers. That's always there too. No, I don't want to go. Let's see. What's new this year? What's new? Listen
Assimilated
closely.
snowmen are approaching the gate to the Winter Wonderland. They will arrive in 1 minute.
That freaked me the crap out, guys. I'm sorry. I had my audio really loud, and that gingerbread thing just threw me for a loop. I'm going to turn that volume way down. Alright, let's see. What's new? As you may know, I am a magnificent historian without peer. I have delved into an ancient histories of those grim warriors, the Klingons, to find a new winter celebration for us to take part in this year. I borrowed the services of one of the greatest Klingon ice fishers. Speak with him to learn the ancient art of Klingon ice fishing. Wow, so there you go. Klingon ice fishing is the big thing. Now we have this event, which is the Winter Invasion Q. You can join it here, but I also think you can join it here. Yes, it's right there. It's a normal event. A lot of people are playing it right now, as you can see. It's afternoon right now. 30 people are playing it. Wait time is nothing, so you'll get in and get to play that. That's a way to also get rewards and things, though I don't think you get vouchers with that, but it gives you those bells and all those things you need to actually buy things from the vendors. That's what that does. So you'll definitely want to do that. I don't think there's any elite, advanced or elite versions of it, I don't think. No. I'm just double checking to make sure, but no, just the normal version. Now, of course, when you're in there, you want to take out the enemies. If you don't have snow weapons, they give you snowballs you can throw, but honestly, those do very little damage. If you're going to, really get this starship, you really want to go for this starship, and you're going to be playing these events every day, it would...
winter items for a bargain.
That voice just annoys me. It would really benefit you to get some snow weapons from the vendor. That's really going to make a big difference in your playing this. We have a tailor here to change out your outfit. And then we have the actual vendor. Now, I do want to go through all the stuff in the vendor, but this guy gets very annoying with his audio, so let's turn that all the way down. So here's what we've got in the vendor this year. We've still got the Holiday Collectible Bundle and the Winter Prize Voucher Bundle. So if you have dilithium, you can just purchase these Winter Prize Voucher Bundles. You don't get as many vouchers, obviously, as you do if you play the race. The race gives you 40. This only gives you between 2 to 6 winter holiday vouchers. So you could get as low as 2. So it would take a lot of dilithium, like over 1,000 dilithium potentially, not dilithium, excuse me, lobi. It would take over 1,000 lobi potentially to get enough winter prize vouchers from the vendor to buy the starship. Although you could do that if you just got 1,000 lobi sitting around. Just buy the prize vouchers. You could have the ship today. You don't have to wait like everybody else. So that's an advantage there if you have the lobi. Unmelting snowballs. Now these are very cheap. You can use these to throw in those events. They don't melt, so they don't go away. That's the advantage of them. However, they're really not that powerful. This is new. Ornament Fragment Exchange. A winter event trinkets inside. I don't know what this is. Ornament Fragment Exchange. I don't know what this is. It doesn't have any description. It just says Ornament Fragment Exchange. Maybe it allows you to like exchange ornaments for things. I don't know, but it's new, but I don't know what it does because there's no description. So that's pointless. Frosted boots. A lot of people go for these. People love these frosted boots. They'll use them a lot, even in some missions and stuff like that, just to run really fast. Run speed increase, basically. Traction's reduced, but you get to run really fast. A lot of people like these frosted boots. Those have been there for a long time, so that's not new. All these costumes are not new. The 2012 scarf, Starfleet Academy scarf, Federation scarf, winter hat. But here's the new stuff. We have sweaters this year. Look at that. Starfleet Sweaters. That's a very festive Star Trek sweater. That is really cool. I mean, those look really nice. I like that. I would like some of these sweaters in real life. I am not joking. I would love to have a Starfleet sweater like that in real life. A festive Gorn? I mean, how cool would that sweater be to wear that at some Christmas party or something? People would think it's the Grinch, but you would be like, you know better. That's a Gorn. Somebody who knows Star Trek would come up to you and be like, I know that's a Gorn. Festive Q. I want these sweaters. They should sell this merchandise in real life. People would buy these things. And a festive fish. Apparently a gummy fish is a thing this year. So we got fish. So here's what they cost. 10 Targ fur, 10 Bolian candles, 10 Terran ornaments, 10 Vulcan meditation, 8 Andorian sleigh bells, and 8 Bajoran gratitude beads. Again, you just play those missions, play the winter event, and you get these items. And in no time, you'll be able to buy one of these things. It really does not take long. But again, if you're going to play a lot of those missions, you do want a good snow weapon. Winter jackets, those have been here. I'm looking for the new stuff this year. I guess that's all the new wearables this year, is basically sweaters. Sweaters is the new thing this year. So that's what we get. Well, that's good. I like sweaters. Now, these weapons have been here. Caramel Assault, Candy Cane, Batleth, Lollipop, Leerpup. Those have been here. But here's some new things. We got a Swordfish Blue and a Swordfish Red. See, this unusual weapon has been enhanced by Q to be as delicious as it is dangerous. It's a candy fish that's also a sword. The Swordfish is a melee weapon that has a variety of strikes when used in combination series. So it's not just a candy, it's also a gun. Tell me what that reference is from. So you got different colors of that. So that's interesting. It's a melee weapon. A fish. Hit people with a fish, I guess. I mean, why not? It's silly, but it's awesome. You got the Snowblower, Hail, the big one, Flurry, Avalanche, Freezing Melt, the Impaler. All those have been here. I definitely recommend getting a good weapon, though. One of these weapons, if you're going to play those events. It is so much worth it. You will thank yourself. You will thank everybody. Now, what I'm not seeing here that I don't like is there's no new Leerpa or Batleth. Almost every, well, not almost, but for several years, they've given us a new colored, Leerpa or Batleth. But this year, no, we're not getting a Nanopulse one at all. Kind of a letdown that they're not, going that extra mile to give us one, because that was like one of the first in the very first winter event they ever had. The first reward was a Nanopulse Batleth. I forgot the color. I think it was red, but I could be wrong. But the first reward was a Nanopulse. That was like the very first one. Yoda gave that out. No joke. Yoda gave that out. He was in a little hut. He was back there. It was a definite 100% Star Wars reference in the game. And the reason why it was a Star Wars reference was because at the time that the winter event came out, Star Wars, the Original Republic tour, the MMO, I think that's what it was called, it was a big thing when this came out. So that was their little inside joke about Star Wars. Yoda was giving out the Nanopulse. That was the, quote, lightsaber of the game. I remember those days. Those were good days, folks. Those were very good days. But no new one now. So I wish they'd bring back some of that nostalgia. We've got Shaved Ice Gateway, Ice Fury, more weapons and stuff here. Definitely recommend a weapon. Candy Cane, Caltrops, that was last year. Gingerbread Defense Squad, I think that was last year too. Now we come to the modules, the kit modules, which I'm very interested in. Here's what was here before. We've still got the cryogenic stasis field for the science kit module. I went over all these last year or the year before. Cryo mine barrier, cryotonic modulator, endothermic induction, and flash freeze bomb. I have some of these, but I don't even think I've tried them yet. But here's what's new this year, a science kit module called Cryonic Pulse. Cryonic Pulse releases super cold gas in an area around you which violently expands outward. This expansion knocks nearby opponents back, interrupting their actions while causing a damage and rooting them in place for a short time. Does it do any damage? It does do cold damage, but not a whole lot. But it does. It's 50% shield penetration, though. And then we have, for engineers, Freeze Armor. Sends a burst of super cold gas to cover and gradually freeze the target's armor. This slows and then roots and then holds the target as more of the armor is frozen stiff. Additionally, exposure to rapid temperature shifts causes the target's shields to become brittle, reducing shield hardness. It almost sounds like the science one, but with an added benefit of reducing the shield hardness. And it also does cold damage as well. Oh, 100% shield penetration, though. That's cool. And then the tactical one is Micro Cryonic Warhead. Launches a Micro Cryonic Warhead at your target. The warhead causes kinetic and cold damage on impact to its primary target, then explodes. The explosion causes further cold damage to nearby enemies and roots them in place. A lot of holding and rooting with these modules this year. I want all of them, of course. They require quite a bit of things, but not too bad. It's very doable to get all that. And then you got training manuals. Lots of new training manuals. Check this out. Cryonic Pulse. So you can train Cryonic Pulse to an officer. You can train freeze armor to an officer, and you can train cryonic warhead. So you can have the module for yourself so that you yourself can use the power. But then you can also train that to a bridge officer of yours on the ground to have that power. So that's cool too. Either way, you could have that. And they cost the same, so either way it costs the same. So that's new. That's new. And we have a non-combat pet, again with the fish stuff. See, candy fish are a confection originating on Earth. Q, in his benevolency, has imbued this fish with the ability to live while his winter wonderland is present, flopping back and forth on at your amusement. Oh, golly. It almost sounds cruel, but it's not real. It's not a real fish. Once the winter wonderland is gone, the candy fish will revert back to its delicious... Well, I guess that's just Q, right? He's devilish in that way. I would have preferred a combat fish. Could you guys imagine that? What if you had a combat fish beside you, and it would just sit there, and then when there's an enemy, it would just start flopping, and it would like go flop toward the enemy. Imagine this, it's sitting there on the ground, right? Flop, flop, flop. And then it just, the enemy's in front of you, it starts flop, 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 flops toward the enemy, and then starts flopping around at their feet and going flop, 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 and like does flop damage to them. That's what I'm calling it, flop damage. I win. That is a perfect thing. We need flop damage in the game. We need combat fish. Hashtag combat fish. Who's with me? Hashtag combat fish. Let's make this a thing in Star Trek Online. Get on board, everybody. Tweet it. Put it in the forums. Comment about it. Hashtag combat fish. Flop damage for the win. Alright, then we come down here to the Starship Components, okay? We've got Cryoplasma Infused Warp Core and the Singularity Core. Those have been there for a while. I actually own the Cryoplasma one. They cost a lot. Nothing new there. We've got endothermic inhibitor training manuals. Nothing new at all for the Starship Components. I thought there might be something new simply because we're getting a new starship. They might have a new Starship Component, but I guess not. So that's what you get under the vendor this year. Big thing is sweaters, fish, yeah, and the new kit modules. So go for it. Get yourself some stuff there. GPL conversion units, of course. Winter EPO friend. Gotta get yourself an EPO friend. And then we come to the ship, which is hovering up here, and it's beckoning me, it's calling to me, it wants me, I want it. It's a perfect relationship. So I definitely want this ship. Definitely want this ship. Have I made that clear yet? I definitely want this ship. I never got a chance to get the Chelgret, and I regret not getting the Chelgret. I regret not getting the Gret. I am not going to regret not getting this ship, because I am definitely going to try to get this ship, because I want it badly. Anyway. Oh, I just equipped weapons to myself. Okay, now, that is what is here on this little area. Let's kind of walk out here and see what we can find. We have the, I guess that's the gingerbread area place there. That's a thing you can do. Oh, I'm on ice. I think these snowmen come to life and you have to attack them or something. I think that's like a thing. Competitive race begins. You got to keep an eye on what's going on here. My windows are overlapping the crap out of each other. That mission tracker window is like all over that window. So the competitive race begins in 5 minutes. Another competitive race. The Klingon Ice Fishing, we've got to take a look at that. Cones of Conduct begins in 29, and Tide of Ice. So that's what you can do here. You just have to make sure you hit it at the right times. So kind of stick around, and if you hover over it, it tells you what it is. Tide of Ice is a simulated Snowborg are attacking the winter wonderland. Put a stop to their waves of ice. Cones of Conduct is a giant snowman is attacking the gingerbread village. I think that's this up here, which isn't going on yet. Klingon Ice Fishing, that's the new thing. And then 2 different races. There's Fast and Furious and the other one. So this is where you go to do the gingerbread thing, which hasn't, it's not on right now. Gingerbread villager. That is just so freaky to see a huge blue gingerbread just walking around. So that is, that's got to be cones of conduct. And then Tide of Ice is the assimilated snowborg. They just pop up anywhere. That's a thing that'll just happen. That's what I was talking about with them coming alive and everything. So you just do that when it happens. The Klingon Ice Fishing. Let's figure out where that's at, because that's new. There's Tides of Ice. There's one of the starts of the race. One of the races. I don't know where the Klingon Ice Fishing is, though. It's probably not going to be in there. Oh, maybe it's this way. I see something. Ooh, hello. Come on. Ah, this has got to be the Klingon thing. Wow, look at this. So they've taken the lake area here and turned it into... That is so Klingon. Turned it into ice fishing. Oh, look, I'm on ice. Whee! Okay, so this must be like where you have to offer up prizes for the big gummy snake thing. I heard about that. Fish with honor, Kapla. Let us fish for honor and glory. I never thought in my life I would hear a Klingon say, let's fish for honor and glory. So this is learning to ice fish. I'm not going to do it right now. Like I said, I'm going to do all this in a different video. But I just wanted to check it out and see what it is and where it is. Learn the tradition. So you got to do this like tutorial first, I think, and then you get to do it. Many Klingons believe that when dishonored warriors die, they take the barge of the dead across blood-red waters to Grethor. These waters are filled with pale serpents known as the Koskari. It is from this lore that a yearly tradition developed. Warriors would go to the lakes and rivers and attempt to drag Gult from the frigid depths with their bare hands. After gathering many Gult, they would use them to lure a giant Garg. Once it appeared, the warriors would attempt to defeat it. They believed this symbolic act would keep the Koskari from luring warriors from the way of honor. Certain parts of this beast would be gathered afterwards and given to friends as gifts. Q thought it would be a great honor for everyone to take part in the ancient tradition. Of course, Q has a twisted sense of humor. Instead of actual Gult and Koskari, he has supplied beasts made of candy. You now know what I know. Go forth and fish with the honor, Kapla. That actually sounds not too bad. Look, there's like people ice, like physically, literally ice skating. How is the world they doing that? I mean, is that an emote? Is that a thing you can do? Because I'm not ice skating. He's got, like, ice skates on? Seriously? Is this an emote? Hold on. I gotta find out. Oop. Emote. I don't see anything called ice skating. I got so many, though. Dance, shuffle. I don't know. How is he doing that? He's magic. Well, I definitely want to try this out, so I'm going to come back and, we're going to actually play this thing. But, that's cool. So that's what you can do here in the Winter Wonderland. All that stuff. Cool. Well, I really don't know what else to do for this video. I didn't want this to go on too long because this is just an introduction video. So I think I will go ahead and bow out now. You guys have seen the Winter Wonderland. You've seen what's new. You see what you can do. So you can come here and go do all of that yourself. And of course, I am going to as well. I'll probably come back on a different character because I do have a character that I have some snow weapons on. So I'll be able to participate in these events and actually do something rather than just throwing snowballs. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to come back another character, and I'm going to play all these events and see if I can remember how to do them or fail miserably. Probably the latter. Well, everybody, thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for the next one.